I noticed here is the high level of left analog dribbling skills, and the ability to keep the ball. Tekkz is dribbling in a way that he keeps his player between the ball and the opponent's defender, so this makes it hard for the opponent to tackle the ball. Hello guys, today let's break down a FIFA Pro match between Fnatic Tekkz against Tom Smith, but the main focus is on Tekkz where we gonna look at the main key moments. Here Tekkz loses the ball and immediately he presses and regain it back. Let's analyze how he was able to do it. Tekkz is so aggressive when defending. After losing the ball he immediately make quick player switches to his CDMs, but the opponent was able to get a pass to his striker. When you see here the opponent has two passing options, so Tekkz realized it and he kept running with his CDM towards this direction to cut out the pass. This forces his opponent to choose this pass to his upper winger. Now the opponent has no any passing options, which means that he be forced to dribble. Tekkz immediately switches to his center back to apply pressure. The opponent tried to dribble away, then Tekkz switches to his fullback and starts sprinting to dispossess his opponent. When you rewind back you realize that he was easily tackled because of sprinting. All this comes from too much pressure from Tekkz. Here Tekkz concedes his first goal, so let's analyze the mistakes he made, or we analyze how his opponent was able to break him down, and remember that everyone makes mistakes including pros. The mistake came from this point of area. Tekkz did a good job of positioning his defender to cover passing lane to the opponent's striker, but he made two mistakes. One, as you see here the opponent have too much space. Tekkz switched to his CDM to try and cover up space, but he was holding second man press as you see the green icon on his center back Varane, which triggered his center back to start pressing the opponent's player, which moved him away from the pass lane. Another mistake, as I told you Tekkz is so aggressive, which means that he likes to apply too much pressure. Here the opponent had much space. Tekkz wanted to cover the pass lane to the striker, then he pressed the ball holder, but from my opinion, instead of switching to this player, he should have switched to this player because he is near the ball holder, and he can apply pressure to force the opponent into rushing where he might make mistakes. So here on the side of build up, there's a lot of in-game tricks you gonna learn from Tekkz beginning on this one. Here Tekkz performs Elastico against the opponent's AI defender. When you analyze it you see that the opponent is not manually controlling this player, so Tekkz notice it and he first performs ball stop by either tapping L1 or R2 to make his player stand still, then he performs Elastico, as the stand still Elastico is very fast and effective. What I noticed here is that, when you face opponents who uses AI defenders a lot, or those who don't want to switch to their players and keeps on running with their CDMs, try using this trick. Again here on the defense side, as we are looking at every key moment in both legs, so here Tekkz manages to defend the through pass. So here the opponent is trying to break through, he passes to his CDM, but before even making that pass, Tekkz read the change of game direction and he switched to his CDM to maintain his team shape. Opponent makes a one-touch pass to another CDM, so here some players will switch to this player to maintain the team shape, but on the sensible logic this striker is open. Tekkz realized it and he immediately switches to his center back to try and mark this pass. So here when defending through passes, a lot of players don't even realize how the opponent's running player is taking which route. Some just run in a straight line, but here Tekkz realized that the runner is taking this diagonal route, so he also ran in that direction where he was very tight to the runner and managed to dispossess him. What I noticed from this moment, there are 2 points. 1, pros make quick player switches which are on point and they rarely messes up. 2, when defending the through pass, they notice it before even the opponent realize that the pass is available, which means they scan the pitch a lot. Back on the offense side, again this trick Tekkz uses it against the opponent's AI defender, which means that it works. The same scenario, the opponent is not controlling the player, performing ball stop, then Elastico, try using this trick. Again on the offense side as Tekkz manages to create his first chance of the game, trying to push for the equalizer as his opponent maintains 1-0 lead in the halftime of the first leg. So let's break down this attack and sort out what might be the crucial tricks and ideas. Here is the build-up from the corner kick. As the opponent was marking this player, Tekkz realized it and he approaches this defender while holding L1. Afterwards he triggered the speed boost and he manages to pass that AI defender. He passes to his free player in the box. Here comes the unpredictability element. So as you scan far post there's a lot of options, but Tekkz knows that the opponent also knows it, and when you take a look at the opponent's defender was running in that route, meaning that he was anticipating it, so Tekkz continued and passes, so here he realizes that he is trapped and there's no any passing option, so have to recycle and look for passes, and this is the only option available, but he cannot just turn because his opponent is already anticipating that he have to turn. So he made a quick fake turns to drive the opponent's attention. He manages to escape and finds a pass. Again here still there's no any passing options. Again he have to dribble to open the pass options. He dribbles straight to the opponent, he turns away. He makes a fake turn. Now the pass lane is open. After realizing it he quickly passes and again he makes another extra pass and shoot, but unfortunately the goalkeeper saves it. What I noticed the transition from passing to dribbling and vice versa. But they dribble where there's no passing options, mostly just keep waiting until the option opens up, and the recycling of the ball where necessary. Here Tekkz concedes another goal and he is 2-0 behind in the halftime of the first leg. Let's figure out some of the mistakes he made. The mistake came from this point of area. Tekkz displaced his center back when he was trying to apply pressure, as he switches to his full back João Cancelo. Still he keeps on holding second man press, which triggers his center back to start pressing also, so he doesn't leave his center back to reposition back himself. His opponent manages to open the pass to his striker by performing ball roll into scoop turn. So now you realize the space created by displacing the center back. Tekkz realized that space and he tried to cover it, but the opponent also knew that Tekkz will try to cover it. So he pretended like he's buying that by taking the first touch into that direction, then immediately he turns away by just using the left stick dribbling and score a master class goal. So be careful when using second man press. You have to know which defender is triggered by second man press, as you may drag out your defenders out of position unknowingly. The next is that big games like this, mistakes are punished. That was all for the first half. Tekkz is 2 goals behind, but we know he won't give up, and still there's second leg. We all face this driven pass error, as some of players gets frustrated because of it, but as you see, even pros face the same errors and game glitches as you guys. Tekkz manages to break through for the second time in the game to create his second chance, but he was unable to convert it into a goal. From the topic I recently told you guys about reading the opponent's defenders, here Tekkz triggers a pass and move, which means that his player is running forward for possible through pass. His opponent notices it and he tries to cut the passing lane, so he is not pressing Tekkz. As I told you, when the opponent is cutting the passing lane you dribble. When he presses, you either turn away before, or pass. So Tekkz dribbled into the space. As soon as his opponent started pressing him, he passed. So now here there's a dangerous pass into the box, but Tekkz knows that his opponent is aware of it, so he didn't rush to take it. He turns to test whether his opponent is still marking it. He made a ball stop which made this pass presence. His opponent also noticed it and he cut that lane, but Tekkz was still watching this player and he passed to him. Here comes the logic mind game. So if the opponent runs to block the shot, it opens up this passing lane, but the opponent didn't run to block the pass because the meta in this year's FIFA series is finding an extra pass in the box, so the opponent did a gambling game to mark this pass, because he risked to leave this shooting opportunity open. What I noticed here is that, even if the opponent marked the passing lane here, Tekkz kept on testing whether his opponent still marking it, until he realized that he has stopped marking it, then he took it. Back on the defense side, as Tekkz is trying to press very hard because he's trailing, and I expect high pressure game from him to try to get back in the game. As the opponent switches sides, Tekkz triggers offside trap to push his back line forward to apply more pressure. Tekkz switches to his fullback and starts running aggressively towards the opponent, as he expects his opponent could turn away from the pressure. He switches to his winger to make sure that he doesn't turn. Again he switches back to his fullback and runs to the opponent, and again he switches to his winger to assure he doesn't turn away, so the opponent is completely trapped as he has no another option than giving away the ball. And here the opponent is trying to take his time and he's building up slowly, and there's no need for him to rush, but as you know, Tekkz doesn't give you the time. He creates some traps and find possible ways to dispossess you. But when you rewind back, the opponent was building up slowly, so why would he rush to lose possession cheaply like that? So when you observe this moment here, opponent passes to his fullback. Just analyze what Tekkz is doing with his defender. He sprints in a way of giving his opponent path to move forward, so he forced his opponent to rush forward by tricking him, because he knew that he was just wasting time, so he sends him forward where he can dispossess him easily. The clock is ticking down and still Tekkz has not yet scored a goal to try and get back in the game. Let's break down this scenario and analyze what happened. Tekkz is having his two strikers available. As he passes here, he sees that the opponent's defender is moving away. Pros are very good at reading defender movements, but he doesn't rush because he knew that his opponent is not stupid enough to let him take that path, but still he made his first touch into that direction, testing his opponent whether he might switch. As expected, the opponent switches and Tekkz immediately stopped and passed to another striker. Then immediately turns away because he knows that his opponent is going to switch to his center back, so he's trying to be unpredictable by dribbling back from where the ball came from. As the opponent's defenders collide and one of his center back is down, Tekkz knows that he's going to switch to his fullback to try and press, so he immediately passes. He turns looking for shooting angle, but the opponent is very tight. After realizing that he can't shoot, he have to turn away because he noticed multiple options inside. As he turns away, the opponent's defender loses balance. Tekkz passes and the pass gets intercepted, but when you rewind, you see that this player is not controlled by opponent. Now you wonder why he intercepts the ball when he's not controlled. It's because of his high interception stats as a player, and the cut passing lane instructions. What I noticed here is the high level of left analog dribbling skills, and the ability to keep the ball. Tekkz is dribbling in a way that he keeps his player between the ball and the opponent's defender, so this makes it hard for the opponent to tackle the ball. That's it all for the first leg. Soon we shall release the second leg and see whether Tekkz made a comeback, or the game ended that way. So for now I sign out.